Well, straight to the equity markets, and it was the market momentum that was absolutely intact for the trading day. In fact, it was banking stocks which were the frontliners, and apart from the trade deficit numbers, it was pretty strong cues when it came to select results in today's session. Very strong volume activity, 2.3 lakh crores, and rate sensitives did all the work. 19,016 on the Sensex, up a good 285 points, and 5783, that was the level that the Nifty shut sharp. You had the broader markets too, which did manage to play catch up. Not as much enthusiasm, but no complaints nonetheless. So it was the mid-cap index which gained close to 45 points, and the small-cap index up by just about 0.6%. Take a look at the bank Nifty and what that did in intraday trade. In just today's session, it gained a good 300 points almost. You had the capital goods index as well as consumer durables, which contributed on the upside. IT has been a weak link on account of all of those results that came out. And you had the metals pack also, which took a bit of a back seat in today's session. But it was flat nonetheless. Some of the big gainers for the day included an IndusInd Bank on the back of numbers. IDFC also gained by close to 5%. Bharti has been a steady gainer in today's session all throughout, so 5% higher by the day's close. And Tata Motors, in addition to some of the other auto counters, gained by close to 4%. Some of the results then and reactions coming in for TCS. It traded in a negative terrain all throughout the session, even after it did meet expectations. There was a 3% uptick in its fourth quarter top line results, though you had a fall in the operating margins. That put a bit of pressure on the stock, despite a fairly bullish outlook coming in from the management. 1452 is where TCS shut sharp. Well, then some of the results for the day, you had MRF, which put out a great set of numbers, the stock giving it a good response as well. The Q2 profits came in higher by 10% at 210 crore rupees, and the top line growth, though, was low by 2.9% at 2,905 crores. SR Ports delivered its numbers, and this time around you saw a turnaround, so the profits came in at 92 crores vis-a-vis a loss last time around of 61.5 crores, and the top line growth was fairly steady, 34% higher at 387 crore rupees. In fact, in this quarter it had the highest ever cargo, which was handled in FY13, which was up by 26%, but the stock ended close to the low point of the day, off by 1%. Some of the other stocks in focus, Reliance Communications, can't ignore that one. Almost a 70% run-up in this month itself. It's hiked the postpaid tariffs in one of its plans by 50%, according to sources, that is. And the local and STD call rates have also been hiked for their one plan by 70 paise per minute from an earlier 50 paise per minute. Apart from that, you had the metals pack, so Kalyani Steel soared in today's session. Apart from that, you had a JSW Steel as well as a Sesa Goa on account this time around as a big relief coming in as the Supreme Court lifted the Category B mine bans for some of these companies and permitted 63 mines to resume their operations. McLeod Russell, well, we spoke to the management. That counter was down by 6% by the day's close, and they said that the Kenyan key market has come off in the past few months, and in last March to June, the tea crop faced a severe drought and almost lost 6.5 to 7 million kgs of tea on account of the same. Jet Airways was flying high today as Aviation Ministry sources indicated that there are positive signs emerging for the Jet Etihad deal, and it could be signed within a month itself. HMT also up and away as the Cabinet and the CCEA meet today will be in fact considering the revival plan for the company, and the proposal is to infuse 1,083 crores into HMT. Gayatri Project also gained a good 10% as one of its units, that's Thermal Power Tech, has secured a 25-year PPA for 500 megawatts power capacity in Andhra Pradesh. Some of the laggards included an NMDC, HCL Technologies and TCS were weak, as was the Dr. Reddy's, which by the day's close was exceedingly flat. Well, how did we do for the week? I think owing to the kind of traction that we saw just in the last 2 days, the Nifty gained a good 4%. The Sensex too was up by 4%. It wildly outperformed the broader markets, which also were in a positive terrain, gaining a good 2% apiece. In terms of the big gainers, it was banking all the way, and and Axis Bank gained a good 13.4%. IndusInd Bank too featured on the list, so 12% higher for that one. IDFC also gained quite a bit of traction. IT as a pocket has been your big laggard, so HCL Technologies, after all the give and take, lost close to 5% for the week. TCS was also down. NMDC was down by close to 1.2%, and Cipla looked a tad weak.